Hey everybody, Baron here. We have Adam Maxwell in the shop today from Vortex. You may recognize him from being in the shop in the past. He brought along a new product from Vortex here, and I'm going to let him do the introduction on it. So Adam, what are we looking at here?
Well, we got the new for 2020 Razor Gen 3. This is an all-new scope for us. All the same things that you came to know and love about the Razor 1 to 6 carried over into the Gen 3, but now, see, it goes up to 10. This is a first focal plane, 34 millimeter, 1 to 10 low power variable optics. So, very excited about this for 2020. Been prototyping for over a year now. Been very happy with the results, and it's finally here. So wanted to make sure, like Baron said, got my start here at Arns & Arms. Happened to be in the neighborhood, so wanted to make sure that Arns and customers got a first look. One of the few to get a first look at the new Gen 3.
It's who you know, right? So I got to tell you guys, this thing is super cool. I'm really excited about this. So this one, I'm really digging the reticle in it. Doesn't have, ridiculous weight going on. Form factor is basically identical to the Razor Gen 2. iBox on 10 is still good on it, so you're not, having to line up perfectly behind that to actually take advantage of that 10 power. So I know I was asking Adam a little bit about what all he's done with it the past year. I know he mentioned he did a SWAT sniper competition with it.
Yep.
What else have you run this through?
We've been running in 3-gun, obviously, since I think Traditional Nationals last year. But like you may have noticed that like the Vortex in-house Vortex 3-gun guys haven't posted a whole lot of videos this year. We've been secret squirrel shooting this for quite a while. I've had it at some DMR SWAT type stuff. So had it on 308 gas guns, shooting out 1,100 yards. And it's been good, man. I have to say, really, it's everything you came to know and love about the Gen 2 carried over. So, and we didn't want to come out with the Gen 3 until we could bring those things to the customers. So we wanted the same iBox, we wanted the same weight. If anything, I believe we shaved another ounce off of the E model, going to a 1 to 10. We wanted a daylight bright illuminated reticle, which was probably one of the harder parts to do. The technology that's used to illuminate the reticle is different, and that had to be developed a little bit to get it as bright as it is. Yeah, really digging it. Now the sexy part of it is that it goes up to 10 now, right? But really what excites me more probably is that it's a first focal plane scope, and we have a floating reticle inside there. So we have essentially a reticle that grows and shrinks with magnification. Yep. So when we zoom it all the way out, you have a very subdued sight picture. It's almost red dot-ish. There's just a very concentrated reticle in the middle, nothing really around the outside obstructing your field of view. And then when you start to need those artifacts in there for point of reference on holds at longer ranges, those explode. It's almost like opening the map. Like those things become more apparent as you zoom in. So that's the part that I really like. Even though, for most of the shooting we've done, I pretty much live in the 1 to 3 power range when I use it for 3-gun, but it's a fully capable scope. You're not going to be wanting for more magnification in anything that you would reasonably use a low power variable for. So, but a lot of the same things carried over. We one of the things that probably are undersold features is the turrets are actually engineered to disappear behind the eyepiece. So when you're looking through the scope, you can't see the turrets. Things like that carried over. Locking illumination reticle still goes up to 11 because that's just how we roll. Yeah, man, we're super excited about this for 2020. I know it comes with a sunshade. I think it comes with the switch view throw lever.
Sweet.
Don't quote me on that, but I think it does. And it's going to be hitting the streets for about $1,900. So
really competitive pricing.
Yeah.
Considering what gets close to it in the market right now.
Right.
The other thing I want to comment on, since they've pushed that top end so much higher, everything under 10 is going to perform better.
Yes.
So your 6 power, like your current Razor Gen 2, it's going to be more performance
Yep.
at 6 because you have so much more top end on this optic.
Yeah, think of it as a 1 to 6 that goes up to 10 instead of a 10 power scope that goes down to 1. It's a low power variable scope that has the higher magnification capability,
Yep.
not necessarily the other way around. A lot of folks want to look at it as like a DMR scope, and they start to ask about like parallax adjustment, things like that. Not what this was really intended for, but it's giving you that capability, you know, in your intermediate range carbine type optics. So,
Which, for its closest competitor, you know, that this is much more oriented toward a carbine as I see it, or that, you know, SPR, DMR, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, or Mark 12 type weapon
Exactly.
system, yeah.
You know, it does that, I think, better. Just looking at it here, you know, I've been talking about doing PRS gas gun coming up in 2020. That I'm sold on. I'm going to end up with one of those. I just got to decide on reticles. So
Yep, very excited about it. 2 reticles. So one is a military-themed mill-based reticle. So we have a dot matrix underneath with mill dots, Christmas tree type thing that you become accustomed to, and then there's going to be a BDC-based sort of 3-gun style reticle with a 200-yard zero. Then it has dots at 3, 4, 5, 6. And then windage dots 5, 10, and 15 mile per hour. It's a little bit cleaner presentation of a reticle, but those are the 2 reticles coming to market. Working on some others for some customers, especially the LE market. We're working on something a little bit different for those guys. That's going to be forthcoming though in the coming months and years. But for now, 2 reticles, the EBR 9 and the EBR 11. And then I guess the other thing too, for those of you who still like the 1 to 6, this optic is not getting discontinued. So this is going forward. The 1 to 6 E model is still in production. The same 3 reticles are currently slated for 2020. So anything that you knew and loved in this scope, still going forward, not going away anytime soon. This is just augmenting the line with a little bit more capability, and you're jumping about $500 in price. So.
And one other thing I want to ask on here, this your magnification dial here is very easy to move. Is that something you did, or is it going to be across the line?
I can't take credit for that one, but yes, that is standard. I've seen several samples of these, and all of them have had a much easier to manipulate magnification ring. That was definitely feedback that we got out of the old scopes. Put it into this scope. So currently, yes, they're using a completely different lubricant in there, and so it is much easier to turn on. Most of my samples that I've been using, I haven't installed throw levers on them.
Okay.
Some of the other guys have. I believe it's the SV5 that fits it, but there are throw lever options for it. And then I guess that's another question. A lot of folks are going to be like, well, why didn't you integrate the throw lever into the ring? That's intended as a failure point, so to speak. So that's something has to give at some point if you exert enough force on it. If the ring or if the throw lever externally breaks, you can put another one on, or we can send you one. You don't have to send your scope back to the factory. The next failure point beyond the lever would be inside the scope, and that's something that's not user serviceable. So that would be the reason that it didn't come with a throw lever or as integrated as part of the system. But like I say, I believe OEM packaging is going to have the throw lever included with it, and it's a fully warranted part under the VIP warranty program. So
You're right. So just, you know, if it weren't integrated and you ended up ripping it off on something, you do damage to your dial here, or that just the stud is still stuck in that threaded part, I mean, that's, most people aren't going to have sitting in their garage what they need to fix that. So that's what Adam's talking about, having that throw lever. If you catch that, it rips off.
Yep.
Your
It's like
scope
shear
keeps
bolt on your
working.
snowblower.
Exactly. Yep. So
For you southern people, you probably won't get that, but
so anything else we should know about this guy? Cool
like
fun
I
facts.
said, drop in. You're probably seeing this January 10th or so. It's going to be on display at SHOT Show for those of you who are attending that. Certainly at NRA, and I believe it's going to start shipping. I've been told early spring, and I'm confident in that date more so than I usually am. So
Cool. Well, there you go, guys. The new Razor Gen 3, 1 to 10, first focal plane. So get ready to check this out. I'm really excited about this optic.
yeah, come on down to Arms and Arms and check it out.